And Rise senior correspondent Obadiah is at Falomo area of Lagos, where the Bring Back Our Girls movement are holding a sit-out to commemorate the 9th anniversary of the abduction of over 200 students of the government college Chibok, Borno State, by the dreaded Boko Haram sect. Oba, it's good to have you with us. So, can you give us an update where you are?
Right now, at the moment, we have a group of Nigerians here. Most of them are parents of these missing girls. They are commemorating the 9th anniversary of the disappearance of their daughters. You remember the story that in April 2014, about 276 of these girls were kidnapped from their hostel at the government girls secondary school in the town of Chibok in northern Nigeria. As of 2021, about 100 of them are still missing, while some of them, escaped from custody back home, and the military also rescued some of them. So who you are seeing here right now are the parents of some of the girls, some rights activists, the promoters of the Bring Back Our Girls campaign. You remember hashtag Bring Back Our Girls, hashtag BBOG. Yemi Adamolekun of the Enough is Enough Nigeria campaign is also here with us. He's one of the promoters of the campaign to bring back the Chibok girls. Yemi, good afternoon. Can I have a word or two with you on camera, please? She's here and they are putting the logistics in place in commemorating the 9th anniversary of the disappearance of these girls. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So bring us up to speed. What are we witnessing here today?
So normally every Saturday, we actually meet at Falomo roundabout to remember the missing Chibok girls and then others that have been victims of abduction. So we do this every Saturday, and we've done this for about 7 years. And so yesterday was the 9th anniversary, and today we have a larger event than our normal Saturday meetings, where we will say a prayer for the girls. We will hear there are 2 escaped girls that will be joining us shortly, so they will speak, and then we'll do a roll call of the 96 girls that are still missing.
Okay, here we have some parents. I've spoken with some of them, and we have other promoters of the Bring Back Our Girls campaign. Who else do we have here?
Yeah, that's basically it. And people in the community who are identifying that we have girls that are still missing, parents, Lagosians who are joining us and choosing to join us today.
How many of these girls do we still have in captivity?
Well, what we found out during the week is that we have either 92 or 96, but what's even more distressing is that 14 of them have come back and they're in the custody of the Borno State government. So one of our demands today, with its statement issued yesterday, is that the Borno State government needs to account for the girls that are with them. There's one thing to know your daughter has come back, but then know that she's in your state, but you don't know where she is or you don't have access to her. And we think it's very unfair that both the Borno State government and the federal government are not letting these parents have closure. The chairman of the Chibok Association in Abuja spoke yesterday, and he said some of them have been back for 6 months, some of them for 1.5 years. And their parents haven't seen them.
So what is the government saying?
Silence is what we have. The statement was made yesterday at Unity Fountain, where we were meeting every day for a period of time before COVID, and we haven't heard anything back. So we're going to make the demand again here today, and we hope they choose to respond. The Buhari administration is coming to an end in about a month, and we're saying that let this be your legacy. Give accountability. There's some of the girls that we heard are dead, and the federal government refuses to acknowledge that as well. So let the parents know, this is who we have, this is what has happened, this is who has died, so we know. And then lastly, we're asking for a missing persons register. You cannot celebrate someone that has come back if you don't know they were missing in the first place. And we're encouraging the government to do that.
Okay, so do we still have hope that those still in captivity are still coming back to reunite with their family? How much hope do we have?
We do, because over the years we've seen almost 30, my numbers fail me at the moment, come back from those that were in captivity. If we say 14 are with the Borno State government, they left Boko Haram. So there's certainly hope, and that's why we meet here every Saturday at 12 noon, and that's why we're here again. 9 years, it's a long time.
Indeed, it's a long time. So
the Buhari administration made this one of their promises. During his inauguration speech, he said we cannot have said to have conquered Boko Haram until all the Chibok girls are back. We can't. And that's his words. I'm not saying it. He said it. And he should own up to those words.
We still have about 1 month to the end of this administration. Do we have any hope that this will be achieved in 1 month?
It's possible. Anything is possible. We've seen what our military can do when there's a determination to do that, yes. And even if it's just clarity about this is what we've done. We met this when we came in. We've brought this back. We've brought this number back. These are the number we understand are dead. These are the number we believe are still in captivity. Clarity will go a very long way for the Chibok community.
Or perhaps you think they have resigned themselves to fate that the incoming administration will take it up from where they have stopped. What do you think?
Well, based on the election results, it's also an APC administration. So it's not, in 2015 when this happened, it was APC trying to say they will do better than PDP. And they were using this opportunity because they did jump on this Bring Back Our Girls movement because they were opposition at the time. But now it's an APC government based on what has been announced. It's an APC government taking over from an APC government. So I don't know who they are trying to prove to, but so they should get the job done before he leaves.
Just like you said and what I've observed, nobody seems to be talking about the girls anymore from the government quarters. Does this signify fatigue in a way or just carelessness?
I think maybe fatigue or maybe just the impunity in Nigeria. Post Chibok girls, we've had, what, maybe 6 or 7 other schools that we've had mass abductions, and the government still fails to account properly for the number of people missing in Nigeria. And when there are no consequences, I mean, the APC government got re-elected. When there are no consequences for inability to deliver governance to people, maybe that gives you, you're relaxed. That nobody's really saying anything, doesn't really matter. But it does matter. It matters to their parents, it matters to their community, and it matters to those of us who are not even from Chibok, who believe that government's role per the Constitution is the security and welfare of the citizens. And that's their job description, and they should do it.
All right. Thank you so much, Yemi. Thank you so much. We'll stay with you to the end of the program. I just spoke with Yemi Adamolekun. She's the director of the Enough is Enough Nigeria and part of the promoters of the Bring Back Our Girls initiative that is calling on the government and, of course, the terrorists who have kept these girls in captivity to let them go and reunite with their families.
Before we go, of course, just a word of commendation to Yemi and the entire Bring Back Our Girls movement, but also sound probably just draw this as a little bit of a buffer to them, because the pictures of the girls around the Falomo roundabout always serves as a reminder for those who actually particularly plied that particular roundabout. Several of the faces are becoming defaced. Several of the pictures that were being hung there have actually fallen off. It will be good to probably maybe give it a little bit of a facelift so that it can always be in our consciousness that even though some people in some parts of Nigeria are safe, not everyone in Nigeria is safe.
I barely can get that question, Aaron, but I heard you mention the pictures of the Chibok girls at Falomo roundabout, and like you had Yemi mentioned earlier, that every Saturday they assemble here at the Falomo roundabout, you know, to call attention to the plight of the missing girls. So I think it's a work in progress. It's something that they have been doing, and just like she said, they will continue to do until the government is seen to have done the needful, and that is bringing back the girls and reuniting them with their families.
Indeed, Oba. And you also have to praise the resilience of the organizers of the abduction anniversary. But sometimes you tend to wonder, it's an annual event, but is the message getting through to the authorities at this rate? It's been 9 years already.
All right, I think.
Oba, can you hear me? All right, we seem
what?
to...
I barely can hear you. It's very low, very low.
Okay, so it's been 9 years, and one wonders if the message coming from this anniversary and many others before it is actually getting through to the authorities, as it were.
Yes, you know, people in authority also watch TV, they read newspapers, and they listen to the radio. They cannot claim that they are not aware of, you know, the resilience of the Bring Back Our Girls campaigners. You know, they have remained on this for the past 9 years, and they have continued to push it. So people in government, people in authorities cannot claim ignorance of this effort. What is left for us to see is the action from the government? Because like I asked Yemi earlier, it appears like perhaps fatigue has set in for the government. And you remember at the inauguration of the Buhari administration, the President Muhammadu Buhari, promised that he will not be seen that the government has won the battle against terrorism until the Chibok girls were brought back and reunited to their families. But this is 8 years into the administration, and it's the twilight of the administration, and nothing is seen. So one can conveniently say that the government has failed in that area, because it is a measure of standard that is set for itself at the beginning of this administration, that unless these girls were brought back and reunited to their families, the government cannot claim any victory against terrorism, particularly Boko Haram. So this is 1 month less of the end of this administration, and the Chibok girls, about 100 of them, are still in captivity. So one can conveniently say, based on the standard set by the government itself, that the government has failed in that area, except of course if they can still perform a miracle in the next 1 month or thereabout, that a new administration will be sworn in.
All right, so I want to say many thanks to you, Oba Adeoye. We'll be keeping tabs with you because we know this particular procession, it's actually a day long. So thank you very much, Oba.